Hello everyone! Welcome to our video. Now, in this video, we are talking about short passage and long passage. Okay, let's see the question number 131. Yep, the text beside explain. There is a problem of inadequate local campaign coverage in cities. And then the reason is that journalists do not provide voters with enough information to understand the issues and evaluate candidates, and local news media spends too much time on scandals and not enough time on policy. Then, in terms of impact, voters do not get enough information to make informed decisions. So, the answer is A. Is not doing an adequate job when it comes to covering local campaigns. Why not another answer? Because if the answer B, the text does not state that the local news media does not understand campaign issues or politics. If the answer C, the text never mentions the national news media or suggests that the local media should learn from them. If the answer D, this is incorrect. The text states that they cover local campaigns in sentence frequently in local elections. Journalists are not giving voters, but the way they cover them is the problem. Focus on scandals, lack of information, so they have interest, but the way they cover it is wrong. But if the answer A, the text explicitly states that frequently in local elections, journalists are not giving voters enough information to understand the issues and evaluate the candidates, and spend too much time on scandals and not enough time on policy. All of this indicates inadequate work. The paragraph directly criticizes the quality of local campaign coverage. Next, let's see the question number 132. And yep, this text explained DTP definition that DTP is the use of computer equipment and software to create high quality documents like newsletters, business cards, letterhead, and brochures. And then the most important part of any DTP project is planning. And before you start, you must first know the intended audience, the message you want to convey, and the form of message you will convey. So, the answer is C. The first stage of any DTP proposed DTP project should be organization and design. Why not another answer? Because if the answer A, the text states that you must know your audience as part of DTP planning, but does not state that DTP itself is a way to get to know a new audience. If the answer B, the text mentions the use of software to create high quality documents, but does not discuss how the software is continually being refined or evolved. If the answer D, the text states before you begin, you should know your intended audience. This suggests that you need to have an understanding of your audience, but does not explicitly state that you should talk to them. But if the answer C, the text states the most important part of any DTP project is planning, and that explains what planning involves knowing the audience, the message, and the message format. This fits well with the idea that the initial stage is organization and design in the context of planning, which implicitly is the initial organization and design format before execution. Next, let's see the question number 133. Okay, and the answer is B, because the paragraph says that focusing on the low fat versus low carb question make us ignore more important health concerns, which are related to our consumption of processed and manufactured foods.
Every year, Americans use over 1 billion sharp objects to administer healthcare in their homes. These sharp objects include lancets, needles, and syringes. If not disposed of in puncture-resistant containers, they can injure sanitation workers. Sharp objects should be disposed of in hard plastic or metal containers with secure lids. The containers should be clearly marked and be puncture resistant.
Hello friends! After listening to the question read by Gigi, do you think the correct answer is A, B, C or D? Okay, the correct answer is B. Come in contact with sharp objects that have not been placed in secure containers. Imagine you're a sanitation worker. The paragraph says that if sharp objects like needles aren't put in special, puncture-resistant containers, you could get poked while you working. Option B is correct because it directly talks about the danger of getting poked. The other options don't directly address this main point. That's it. Find the main ideal sentence of the paragraph. The sentence that explains the most important idea. Then, look at the other details that support the main idea. The correct answer will match the main idea and those supporting details. Why? The other options are incorrect. A. Do not place sharp objects in puncture-resistant containers. This is true, but it describes the cause, not the consequence. The injury to sanitation workers, which is what the question is asking about. C. Are careless with sharp objects such as lancets, needles and syringes in their homes. The paragraph focuses on disposal, not the initial handling of the sharp object at home. D. Do not mark the containers they pick up with a warning that those containers contain sharp objects. The paragraph emphasizes the importance of puncture-resistant containers, not the labeling of the containers themselves.
Litigation is not always the only or best way to resolve conflicts. Mediation offers an alternative approach and it is one that can be quite efficient and successful. Mediation can be faster, less expensive, and can lead to creative solutions not always possible in a court of law. Additionally, mediation focuses on mutually acceptable solutions, rather than on winning or losing.
Next, the correct answer is D. Mediation can be an effective way to resolve conflicts. The paragraph compares mediation and lawsuits. Mediation is described as faster, cheaper, and more creative in finding solutions, so the conclusion is that mediation is an effective way to solve conflicts. The other options are too general or not fully supported by the paragraph. The tips: pay attention to keywords like faster, cheaper, and creative solution. These words show the advantages of mediation over other methods. Why other options are incorrect? A. There is too much reliance on litigation in our society. The paragraph doesn't discuss the overall societal reliance on litigation. B. Litigation is expensive, slow and limited by its reliance on following the letter of the law. While the paragraph implies this, it's not the main point. The focus in mediation as a better alternative. C. Mediation is the best way to resolve a crisis. The paragraph doesn't claim mediation is always the best way, it simply presents it as a good and effective alternative. Next, the answer is C. Are hired for a limited term of employment. The paragraph states that no Peace Corps member can work for more than 5 years. This means they are hired for a limited time. The other options aren't directly supported by the information in the paragraph. Next, the answer is A. Get more work done in a given time period than workers who travel to the office. The paragraph mentioned that telecommuters produce 20% more than those who work in an office. More here means they get more work done in the same amount of time. That's the discussion about how to understand and answer short reading passages. Thank you for your attention. Hopefully it can help you, my friends.
Now it's time for long passage questions. The text looks longer, but actually, the steps are very similar. We just need a good strategy. Here's how to work with long passages. 1. Read the questions first, so you know what to look for. 2. Skim the passage. Don't read everything, just get the idea. 3. Underline important info like names, dates, and cause of act. 4. Go back and match. Find the part of the text that answer the question. Now, take a look at this question. Which of the following list of topics best outlines the information in the selection? This question asks about the main topic of the whole passage, so we don't need every detail, just the big picture. Step 1. Skim each paragraph. You'll see the text talks about the coastlines formation because of glaciers, the unique environment of Mount Desert Island, and human activities like tourism. And step 2, find the option that includes all three of those. So the answer is B, because it talks about the coastline, the island, and people's activities. Another question. Which of the following statements best expresses the main idea of the fourth paragraph of the selection? For this one, we focus only on paragraph 4. Step 1, we need to read the first sentence. It says, Mount Desert Island is a special location. Step 2, read the last sentence. It says, the island has many animals and plants. So the main idea is D. How about this question? According to the selection, the large number of small islands along the coast of Maine are the result of. This is a cause effect question. So step 1, go to the first paragraph. It says glacier pushed the mountains into the sea. That's exactly what opinion A says. Glacier forcing a mountain range into the sea. So the answer is A.